This capital campaign has actually been years in the making. We realized this building had some significant needs, and church leaders on all fronts started to explore what we need to do to get this building back up to par. And then we realized we've got a future to take care of and to think about. And so we started to explore what our ministry needs for the whole next generation. And that's where this project and this dream was born.
And with a program such as this campaign, it's just going to expand our abilities to serve not only in the community, but also serve ourselves in the way that we can be together.
At Westminster, we do a lot of things. We do lots of things in lots of ways, but what I realized is it's actually all about consciousness raising. What we do here is we equip people to move through the world like Jesus did, as best we can.
And so when we gather them here and they meet in this space, this building becomes this amazing metaphor to a bunch of people, to a bunch of young people. What we do here really matters. It's very significant, and it's worth our sacrifice. It's worth more than our leftovers. And so that, now when they gather here, they see that every time they look around this building.
We raise our children in a certain way, and we serve the community, those in real need. That all requires a space. A place where these ministries can have a home, a place where God's work in Marin can have a home.
I do get a chance to see some of the older kids who have come through the church in years and years, and I look at them and I'm thinking, okay, wait, that's what this church produces? Okay, that works for me. And they're remarkable kids, and it's got to be just the whole community over years and years that goes into developing children who have that faith and that reverence and the respect. Those are all good kids. Those are wonderful kids. And if my kid has an opportunity to be exposed to that and maybe turn out like that, that's more than I can ask for.
The youth program allows us to engage in community service, and we can carry out, the word of Jesus, and to use our faith and apply it to the community so that we can make a positive and a lasting difference.
So I have been doing community service at this church for almost forever. I have been involved in a ton of different programs, whether it's doing rest with all the kids or doing hot lunch cupcakes for the men's birthday during the Thursday hot lunches. And I've always had so much fun doing it, and it's so fun to be around a community that just is so open and welcome to doing community service and helping everyone they can and doing everything they can.
People say to me, "So Judy, thank you for taking this on. Why did you decide to do this?" And besides the need, it's really because there is such a wonderful team. Part of the campaign issue is to make that kitchen that supports that rest program a viable, functioning kitchen that we can do more with.
And we want to do more. Presbyterians are known for food. They kind of make fun of us sometimes because we're always talking about food and always around a meal. But what better way to share in fellowship than around a table?
A kitchen is one of the most vital things in doing community service, specifically with food. Something that homeless people need a lot is food, and if they can't have a properly prepared meal, it's really hard. I personally have a lot of trouble with it because the microwave sometimes doesn't like to work, the oven doesn't like to work, the stove doesn't like to work, and seeing warm food on a plate and happy homeless men, it would be so worth it.
Another part of what's so exciting about this church is that people are spiritually engaged. I picture the experience when Rob and Bethany do the investiture of deacons and elders, and he has said in prior years, anybody who has ever been a deacon or an elder, come forward and lay on hands to show support for these people. Almost the whole church gets up there and stands there. It's a participatory church.
I was initially drawn to this church and have remained involved with this church with love and passion because of its emphasis on service. We are a church that believes in social justice issues, and we emphasize what I call the 4 H's, which is homelessness, hunger, health care, and human rights.
You know, as far as the campaign is concerned, it's overdue because this community does so well. It's grown. You know, the building itself needs to grow to support our continued growth. And, you know, investing in improving our facility is a better investment than I can imagine, because the returns to our community and inside the church and outside the church are just so remarkable.
The original 1950 structure was built to code at the time, but right now it's not up to earthquake code. So part of the project is to upgrade the building so it meets today's codes and is safe for everybody. One example of an improvement that we have to do is Rob's office, the pastor's office, is upstairs, and when he wants to do a pastoral visit for someone who has mobility problems, we can't get that person up there. So one of the improvements is to build an elevator to allow everybody to come on up to Rob's office.
We work with $1 million every year, and I've got vendors that are calling, and payroll company come here and speak with me and go over some things, the insurance company, and they come into a Sunday school room basically.
I've been the music director here for 10 years, and I cannot imagine a better place to be serving. One of the things that makes this a wonderful place to serve is that music is an integral part of worship. What people probably don't realize is that behind all of those live performances are stacks and stacks of scores that have to be stored somewhere.
It's an amazing calling we have, and it's an amazing gift we've been given, but it's also an awesome responsibility. It's our turn to take care of it, and to pass it down to another generation.
We have this amazing opportunity to show our young people what really is important and what matters to us. Nobody questions whether or not their education, their extracurriculars, their finances are important, but we have an opportunity that with every new wall that goes up, every new light bulb that gets installed, the new windows we see out of, we show for a whole generation of our young people at Westminster that who we are, what we stand for, what we do for this community and for each other aren't just significant and important, they're a necessity.
We're looking for a building that's safe, a building that's usable, and a building that's beautiful. How we treat our space is a reflection of our faith. Our faith isn't tired. Our building shouldn't look tired. It should look alive and vibrant like this community is alive and vibrant. Our calling, our Christian calling, is not one that leaves us exhausted. So let's have a building that reflects that sensibility to the community. When you consider your gift, think not only about yourself, but the countless people who come through this building every week, the children whose lives will be impacted by our Sunday school program, the men and women who experience homelessness, who find their only meal or place to sleep here at this church, those who come here in crisis, those who come here seeking community, those who you may never meet, but you will touch through your generosity, just as you've been touched by God's generosity through someone else. Together, let's move forward in faith.